welcome to my channel HiralsWorld, and today we are going to talk about the special topic. This video on Instagram got super popular and I started getting questions about people asking me how did I apply for scholarships, how did I manage to study and support myself while living in Canada and pursuing my career. So without further ado, let's begin this topic. First of all, let's learn how to apply for scholarships. When should you apply for scholarships? And what is the exact time that you should be looking for scholarships? Should you apply before you apply into the college, or should you apply after you apply into the college? And is it possible to get a scholarship for people like us who are very average students? And if yes, then how to go about it. And also, please do watch this video until the end, because I will be sharing my personal tips on how did I manage to secure 3 scholarships in Canada and how did I pay all of it just by scholarship and not even spent a single penny. And if you know anybody who is looking to study abroad, this is a general criteria that applies for all scholarships, not only for studying in Canada. So if you know someone who is looking forward to studying abroad, then please do share this video. And I hope that you will subscribe to my channel and like and comment below with all your questions. And if anything that you feel or that you want to know more, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. So how to apply for scholarships? The first and the foremost step that you need to do is choose what you want to study. Yes, you have to decide on what course you want to study, whether you want to apply for a PG diploma or whether you want to apply for a master's or whether you want to go for a PhD. It also depends on what's the scope of that education that you are planning to do. What is your motto? Do you just want to come here, experience the culture and then go back to your country? Or do you want to come here, experience the culture, get a job and then settle down? It also depends on what are your areas of interest. So there is a lot more that you need to research. So there are some questions that will be shown in the next slide. Make a note of those questions, brainstorm, think about what are the answers to those questions, and then start looking for universities, colleges of your choice. Now, one tip that I would share here is do not restrict your course choice or do not restrict your country choice, right? Just because you have an aunt living in that country, you will have a support. Don't think about that. First, you think about you think about what you want to do in the future. What if you don't have that support, or what happens if, let's say, something goes wrong in the future? So make sure that you are considering all those criteria. So the questions are: decide on what you want to do, what's the scope of it, how much does it cost, what matters to you, and ranking of the university also matters sometimes when you are applying for a scholarship. So look at all these criteria. Now, after you have selected all the universities or the colleges that you're interested in, the second step is to look up the criteria to get in. So just like look up what kind of IELTS scores do they need. Also look for which kind of intakes are offered by the new universities. Now, most common are the fall intake and the January intake. Summer intakes are not that popular, and some of the universities don't even allow for summer intake. And if it is a college, then usually it's like all year round, or sometimes even colleges have this kind of like September intake that is fall intake or January intake. So just look at all these criteria. Look at how much IELTS scores do they need. Do they accept Duolingo scores, or do they just need IELTS? Do they accept TOEFL? Are they even willing to waive it off? Some of the colleges, especially colleges, if you are applying to those, they might have their own English test, which is a little bit less daunting as compared to IELTS. So if you are applying to those colleges, just look up all those things, and it is all there in the eligibility criteria. All you need to do is just read through the intake criteria and then decide whether this is for you or not. Now, the third step is apply for English test or IELTS or TOEFL, whichever universities you're applying to. Now, when I was choosing courses and when I wanted to apply to universities, I had chosen 5 universities across the globe, and all those 5 universities were accepting IELTS scores. Again, when I was shortlisting some of the universities, some of them were only asking for TOEFL, weren't accepting IELTS, or they were asking for some other English test. Now, I wanted to save money, so I just gave IELTS once, and then I applied to, or I only chose those universities that were accepting IELTS. So just prepare for IELTS, apply for it, get the score that you need, and then the 4th step comes. Now, this 4th step can be going simultaneously with step number 1, 2, and 3, or it can be all together a separate step. And the 4th step is scholarships. Apply for scholarships, or at least look up scholarships. Now, when I say that this can go simultaneously, hand in hand with step number 1, 2, and 3, it's because scholarships also have their own deadlines. It has its own criteria. So look up scholarships that are offered in your area. Look up scholarships that are offered by your government. Look up scholarships that are given by the university that you're applying for. So, when you're looking for the first step, that is when you're looking for the colleges, also just like keep in mind and simultaneously just keep looking, right? Because don't expect to just sit one day, 3 hours, and then you'll be getting all the information. No, information is scattered all over the places, and you need to get it together and make sure that you are looking through all different types of scholarships. Now let's talk about types of scholarships. Now, some of the scholarships are offered by the university, and that's your very first type of scholarship. That is the scholarship that is offered by the school where you are going to study. Now, some of the schools, at least in Canada, will be giving default scholarships to their international students. Now, it's not a big amount, but it is still some amount that makes a huge difference. So just look up the school that you're applying to. Usually schools would also have their own scholarships page. And some of those other scholarships that are offered by the school, they are, on competition basis. So basically, there are some scholarships that are applied for people who are great in sport. It's called varsity scholarship. Or some are offered for people who have done exceptional work in the community. So, all these types of scholarships, you can look them up. Now, how do you look them up? Just go on Google, type, for example, I studied at University of British Columbia. So I would just type saying UBC scholarships and student fellowship. And then there's a page that comes up. You just look through it, and then you will try to find the scholarship that's best suits you. I've also explained some of the scholarships in my Instagram video, so please do go check it out. The link is in the description box below, and also you can click on the Instagram icon on my page. Now, the second type of scholarship is government-funded scholarship. Now, this could be through a government of your own country, that is called as home country, or the government where you are applying. So, for example, Canada is my host country where I was trying to apply and get in the university. So, these government scholarships are offered through various organizations. It could be offered through the government themselves. So just look up on Google, search saying Government of India scholarships for studying abroad, and then look through those criteria. I did secure one of the government scholarships, but I would say that those are very competitive, and those are only for the students who have scored above 85%, who have come up with their own type of research idea, and it's a very long process. But again, there is no harm in looking, because you will never know what can work in your favor. So, and if it doesn't work in your favor, at least you are getting some idea, and it's just going to tune you up for a better future tomorrow. I can only tell you that by applying for so many scholarships, I got in the habit of putting my weaknesses into my strengths, and then I explained it so much in my letter, in my SOP, that I think now when I talk to people, I know exactly what to talk and how to talk. That's how I guess I also landed my first job in Canada as well. So just try to get the experience, right? For applying for a scholarship, you don't have to pay anything. And if you do have to pay, then just don't choose those, right? Unless you're absolutely sure that you are going to land that scholarship. Now, third type of scholarship is private scholarship. There are so many big companies that do give scholarships to the students. So just try to look up big companies in your field. For example, let's say when I was applying to education, I looked up Microsoft Education Scholarship because I did know that they were coming out with some sort of education software. So I was like, okay, are you offering anything? So do look them up and then just try to see what kind of scholarships these big companies are giving, or even are they even giving any type of funding to the students. I did not personally land any scholarships through private organizations, but I did find few people who applied for it and got some funding for it. So just go for it. What's the harm in trying? The fourth type and the final type of scholarship is regional scholarship. There are so many communities out there that are living to give scholarships to the people in their region or in their country. For example, Indo-Canadian Society, or there is a Punjabi or Sikh Society. So just look up all those types of scholarships as well. Now, where to find these scholarships from? Your area or the community where you are living right now is the best place to start. I'm pretty sure if you look hard, you will find somebody who is in your community and knows someone abroad and knows that they are associated with some sort of NGO who is giving scholarship. So all these types of scholarships are great. So even a little bit of amount through this NGO and NPOs will prove beneficial for your studies. So try to look them up. You can also use Facebook, or you can also use Instagram. They are the great resources to find out what kind of communities are out there and if there are any communities that are giving scholarships. Now, the three main tips that I would like to give to all of you who are looking to apply for scholarships. The first tip is, please read through eligibility criteria and prepare full application. I cannot emphasize enough on this point as to how important it is to read through every single criteria and make sure that you are meeting them and apply with the full application package. You can even submit more than is required, but do not ever submit less, because the scholarship market is so competitive that if you are not filling out the full application, or if you are not putting in all the supporting documents, they will just reject you right away. So just make sure that you do apply with the full application package. The second tip is, get the letter of recommendations from your teachers, from your employers, and from everybody that you know. Letter of recommendations, especially from big people like your principal or your boss, makes a huge difference in your application process. Even though it is not asked for, put them in. If you have done any volunteering, or if you are great at sport, then just put that in as well. And the third tip is, write great SOPs. SOPs are the most important part. I know it's very difficult to write everything that you've done in 500 words. Sit with your parents, sit with your friends, and try to jot down all your achievements. Even if it's as simple as you have won a poetry competition in your college, then put that in. Not only put that in, but you can also connect it with how it is going to help you in your future. For example, I had won a poetry competition. I used to write so many poetries, and how I put it is, for example, poetry has helped me form my thoughts and put it very eloquently in my application, and it will help me in the future to write my research in a better way. So this will kind of tell the people who are choosing you that, okay, this person knows how to put their strengths and how to apply it even because poetry is an art, and I'm from a science background. It's not at all matching, right? I could have just been like, oh, what is the poetry going to do for me? But try to connect your achievements with your future goals and try to put it in your SOPs. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have any further comments or questions, please put them in the comment section below. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If anybody who is looking for scholarships or want to study abroad, forward this video to them, and thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe.